Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Polygon MATIC, heavily requested after Polygon's strong increase yesterday, strong price increase yesterday. And we're going to take a look at that. Is the correction over or not? I can give you only probabilities. I can't tell you for sure, as you probably know. That's all what I can do here. Give my own opinion, no financial advice, and it's all a matter of probabilities. You know, nobody can 100% predict what's going to happen, but based on educated assumptions here, based on, for example, the Elliott Wave count and what indicators are saying, we can make really qualified assumptions about where the market might be heading. Now, this is the Polygon MATIC 4-hour chart. My primary expectation here for the price development is still on the chart. If you might remember, since I started covering Polygon MATIC, it has really nicely adhered here to target levels. So the first time was here, we came down into this yellow target area. Yeah, we only touched it, but we came into it. Next time here, we came to that one. Then we moved to the low here, into that target area, moved back here. I think at some point we took profits up there. Every channel member can see my buy and sell orders. I think not quite at the top, but somewhere towards it. And then the buy orders were triggered on the way down again, and so on. And here I started to warn you that we might see a lower high here. And if it is not able to push higher, Polygon MATIC, then this will mean that we are continuing over there. We're actually going to go in a downtrend, and this has so far played out. The thing is that this here was pretty much only to that wave here, yeah, was really only pushing to the previous high. It was an all-time high, a new one, but really only minor. And this is why I stick here with the primary expectation that this here was a wave A, so the beginning of a correction. After an impulse move here to the upside back in May 21. So then we, as many other cryptos, that's my view for many other cryptos as well, came down in a wave A here into July 21. We have then seen a slightly overshooting wave B here in December 21. So it took really nearly 9 months or something to really get to that wave B. Not quite 9 months, but 6-7 months to get to that wave B, and then we are now in this wave C. That is my primary expectation still, since we have failed to make a higher high here, and because this was a decision point. I told you, if we can't push higher than this really might be the wave C. Until then, everything played out here. I warned you, we broke the downtrend, moving lower now, and then possibly found the low. Was this the low? Is that my view? In the last video, I showed you that what we could have made here possibly was also in that wave C then, here the beginning of a 5-wave structure, something like a 1, 2, 3, 4. But now that has been invalidated because this wave came up too high. So we need to look for a different wave count. And in the end, we need to weigh how this is now potentially going to unfold. But yeah, very well, this could be the wave C with a 5-wave structure to the downside. This is still my primary expectation. I think what we did back here on this way up, it just doesn't look impulsive at all. You know, it was slow. You have these very strong retracements coming down. It's always, in my view, also when we do this Elliott Wave analysis, generally, for everybody who's doing this, because a lot of people just, right, I've got 5 waves here, it's 1, 2, 3, or 5, and then you've got your ABC. But it's not as simple as that. It's very important to understand the higher time frame picture, and generally the bigger picture. Yeah, because after such a strong correction that we've already did here, yeah, from basically where you came up here in May and then you came down that strongly, pretty much an 80% correction that was or something, then just to come up like that and do these strong retracements again, it's, for me, this all points towards a wave B, okay? A wave B, which is very corrective, basically, yeah. And I think this is what played out here. And until here, we didn't really know, yeah, or until this point, where it only made a lower high. And then it started to play out here. We moved lower lows. This is now the first time where we actually made a higher low. And it's getting interesting because there is an alternative scenario, but I don't really believe in it. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Primarily, I still think we're going to get lower here. To a degree, this depends on Bitcoin, what Bitcoin is doing now as well. So which of these scenarios is going to play out probably depends on Bitcoin, but we can talk about in which scenario, what can the market do, what can the market achieve. So in this scenario where we're here in this wave C, which I primarily think is going to happen, yeah, so meaning lower prices, we can get down into an area between 30 cents and 60 cents. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but that is between the 0.887 and the 0.786 fib level, and this is also below the wave A. Yeah, so in this wave C, we would need to come below the wave A. That is very important. That's, I think, primarily I would give it a 65 to 70% probability that we come into this area, especially as we broke here below the 0.618 fib level. Yeah, we did that. So if I draw the fibs from the low here to the high of the wave B, you can see the 0.618 fib level here. We did find support in the end, but we broke it. We broke that level. We also broke the 145 level, which I called before as an important support level as well. That was broken as well. Yeah, in the end it did hold, but we broke it still. Yeah, so the thing is, it's a bit unclear. Yeah, it's a bit unclear, but I would still give it, based on what the prices did here in this wave B, I would still give it a relatively higher probability that we're actually coming down in the wave C. So you can expect lower prices. But we're always here on this channel prepared for all scenarios, and it could go higher. It could certainly go higher. There is a scenario in which we could certainly see this here actually as an impulse, yeah, where you find something like, let me just do that. I mean, I showed you before in the videos these 1-2 setups, a series of 1-2s, 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 which would have been a very, very bullish foundation for a move up. But in the end, that was invalidated because we dropped here below that. There is still a way how we could sort of do that, but it just looks a bit too complex. And what this could also have been is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like a diagonal, basically. That's possible, where you can actually cut with your wave 4 into the wave 1 area. So that's possible. And then you had basically then your A, B, C. Yeah, I think that is possible as well, where you came down in your wave A, moved up in a wave B, then you came down in a nice wave C, and this could have been the low. Yeah, and now we're moving up in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly, right, in some way, and then we would move higher. But I wouldn't give it only, as I said, maybe a 30% probability. What I don't really like is that idea of an impulse after a strong correction. The altcoins rarely do that, so I'm not really believing in that, but it would be a possibility to see that as a bullish way up. Okay, and the thing is, as I said, on this channel we're prepared for both scenarios. I mean, everybody who's a channel member, silver member, gold member, can see my buy and sell orders on Discord, and I have a reason why I set buy orders in a certain way. You know, it's just not just at some points. No, I think about it, and therefore I can't cover 100 coins. No, it needs a lot of management. But I did set one buy order with an intention, here above the 145 level. So I think at 147. So that triggered. So anybody who bought here and followed me, I mean, it's never financial advice, but anybody who followed me with these buy orders managed to buy here at 147. And yeah, I mean, the price did go up to $2 in a few days, right? So in this scenario, we're prepared for that, yeah, as well, should the price go up. By the way, anyway, buy orders triggered here, I think around 175 as well. Even at 195, I had one trigger. But overall, good prices for Polygon MATIC in my view, and would prepare us or anybody who's also bought for this move up. Because in the end, if I have to wait a little bit longer until that correction is over and then we get a rocket start, or if the rocket start happens now, for me personally, it doesn't matter, because buy orders were triggered in these areas. Yeah, even profits were taken somewhere up here, were reinvested with buy orders. And if the price goes lower now, I'm going to go in more because I left some money aside. Yes, my strategy, and it works, I think, really well. Just trading the larger waves, it's much more profitable in my view than trying to catch every single wave, you know. Yeah, so far looking very interesting. I'm very excited to see how this is actually playing out. As I said, primarily I would expect those lower prices here, but there is a case for actually the completion of this correction, but I find this a rather unlikely scenario. That's my view on Polygon MATIC. Maybe just a final look here on the indicators, because on the daily there is more room for upside actually. We're not overbought yet, for example, on the daily. On the daily MACD, we also see here that we have a turnaround on the MACD, so that could push a little bit higher here as well. On the 4-day chart, which I always like to look at, We can see that on the 4-day RSI, we're still in the bearish range, but we're potentially getting here into the bullish range. It remains to be seen. Here we need to take a closer look at that, and also a potential turnaround here before we even cross the 0 line on the 4-day MACD. So there is a potential turnaround. If that is turning around, we get a bullish cross. That could really confirm this scenario that I talked about, which I find less likely, but it is here. It's here, and channel members who followed me with my buy orders are prepared for that as well. And if you want to become a channel member, check out the links in the description, and then you can either sign up on my website or here on YouTube. Both ways are possible. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.